discuss about the phases of the moon. And first of all, we need to know what the phases of the moon are. So in relation to this, phases of the moon are the different shapes and sizes of the moon. And in this case, we need to understand that the moon does not produce its own light, but instead it reflects the light from the sun. So we are going to discuss the different phases of the moon according to how they are going in relation to the source of the light, and that is the sun. So to start with, the first phase of the moon is normally the crescent. This phase of the moon, I've decided to paint it color green to represent the part of the moon that is receiving light from the sun. So in this case, as you can see, it's almost just a quarter of the whole moon that is receiving the light from the sun. So this phase of the moon is called crescent. It is normally the first one, the first phase. Then we move to the second phase. It's now called half the moon. As you can see, the painting here shows you clearly that now this green, color green, which is representing the part of the moon that is receiving the sun, the light from the sun, has increased from quarter to half. So this one, that's why we call it half moon. The dark side of the moon represents the part of the moon that does not get the light from the sun. So this is half of the moon, step 2. Then the third phase of the moon is called gibbous. This size, as you can see again, the green part has increased from half to three-quarter parts. Then the dark side is reducing to a quarter. So this is the third phase of the moon, and it is now going from here. We go to what we call a full moon. That means now the whole moon is receiving the sun from the light from the sun. From the full moon, we move again to another phase of the moon. Now this phase of the moon is now starting to go back to the full moon. At this point, the moon is called gibbous again, but as you can see now, the green part, which represents the part of the moon that is receiving the sun, the light from the sun, is on my left. So it means this is, again, you can see this three-quarter of the whole moon. So as we move on from this gibbous, we go to another half of the moon. But in this case, the moon, the sun is on my left, so it is like it now is going to disappear. This is another half, but half of the moon, whereby the moon is now on my left, and then the dark side has gone to this the right side. Then we move to the last part of the moon, which is called crescent. But this crescent, again, you can see the quarter part of the whole moon is receiving the light from the sun. The other three-quarter part is not receiving the light from the sun. From here, the moon will disappear into a phase called new moon. New moon is normally invisible. That's why we have we decided to show it with color white, but normally it's not visible. And from here, after the new moon has this phase has appeared, from here again we start the cycle and it keeps on rotating like this. So this is the project that we have decided to do together with my class. That is a grade 5 project, Standard Science and Technology, about the phases of the moon. Thank you for watching.